And we are live. Yes, Ring Kings podcast is back. We just finished watching the Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor fight. It wasn't even a fight; it was a beatdown. Okay, listen, um, Josh Taylor, his experience is what kept him from getting knocked out. Straight up. Congrats to Teofimo Lopez. We have soured on Teofimo personally. Okay, his recent comments and just his shenanigans. But look, he showed that he still has something, right? Completely outclassed Josh Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to him. I'm not surprised. Like I said before, like it's not a huge surprise that Josh Taylor lost the fight because he didn't look good against Jack Catterall, right? I'm surprised that he lost that way, though. I didn't think he would get completely dominated. I had Josh Taylor winning the fight, first of all, or predicted. I predicted him to win the fight, yeah. But for him to get worked like that,
yeah, I am surprised just because this is the best that Teofimo's looked since the Lomachenko fight.
Yes.
He looked just kind of average against Kempa, and he looked bad against Martin. Obviously the Kambosos loss wasn't great either, but he looked outstanding tonight, right? Like you said, that could be because of the opponent. Martin kind of just outboxed him and led him around the ring for all 12 rounds. He just didn't throw enough. But Josh Taylor, for some reason, said, "I'm gonna go toe to toe, and I'm gonna try to outpower you." And he's not as strong as Teofimo. He has slower hands than Teofimo, so it didn't go well for him. Right. But Teofimo looked like he was very confident. He got his confidence back, and he put on a great performance.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Our guy Bazel's in the house. Salute to you. What's going on? Suge is in the house. Suge Knight 323. What's good? Our guy D Weezy is here. What's going on, my friend? He won a little money off of Tio. Okay. Our guy Hendo's in the house. Salute. Hey, okay. All right. Got some people in here. It's almost 1:00 a.m. We got some people. Okay. Some people coming in the chat here. All right, hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Got somebody over on Facebook. Appreciate that. Oh, we got a few people on Facebook. Okay. All right. I noticed for boxing, there's a lot more people that get on Facebook, these Facebook lives, to look at reactions and things like that. So salute to you guys. But yeah, man. Look, it was a masterclass he put on. That's the type of Teofimo that we thought we were going to see moving forward after the Lomachenko fight. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't been that since that fight. Like you said, he lost to Kambosos. Okay. He had some health issues. Fine. Clearly he had trouble making weight.
Yeah.
He moved up in weight and fought Kempa. He knocked out Kempa. It was a good win, but he didn't look like that though.
No.
All right. And obviously we were live in New York for the Sandor Martin fight. Didn't look good at all.
No.
Right. And yeah, it is a style fighter. Absolutely. Sandor Martin is a defensive fighter, a very slick fighter. Josh Taylor wants to stand in front of you. And that's exactly what Josh Taylor did in the early rounds. And even that first round, it looked like he was the stronger opponent. Right. He backed him down, Teofimo, a couple of times, hit on some good shots. And it looked like, okay, he can wear on Teofimo. He's a bigger guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Teofimo figured him out. And Josh Taylor, he does his thing. I'm not sure if this is like a normal thing. I don't watch a lot of his fights, I'm going to be honest. But he hesitates a lot. Did you notice that? And I heard Andre Ward talk about it a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's not really letting his hands go. He would get inside and he would kind of like feint jab, but then just stand there, right? Yeah. And you're not setting them up for anything. You're just not following through on a jab, and you're thinking about what you're going to do next, or you're expecting him to throw a punch and you're going to counter it. You don't be a cow puncher. You have the reach advantage. Stand on the outside, throw your jab, counter when he tries to move in, but you're getting inside and then you're just waiting to be hit. He's much faster than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
he
It was a terrible game plan.
he in his last two fights, he's looked a little look a little past it,
Yeah.
right? He looked like he was very reluctant to let his hands go in this fight after, maybe midway through the second round or so. Like, I gave Taylor the first round, and after that, he looked like he didn't really want to punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what it is with him. I know that things are not going to get easier moving forward. At this point, I'm much more excited after watching this performance. I'm much more excited about the prospect of Devin Haney moving up and fighting Teofimo. I'm not excited for Josh Taylor to fight anybody at this point, really. It's going to be a tough road for him.
Big Reg, what's good, my friend? What's good? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, I don't know. Josh Taylor, like I said, he's had some questionable wins. Regis Progress won by majority decision, right? A lot of people had him losing that fight. Jack Catterall, I definitely had him losing that fight. So and he just lost to Teofimo. And the competition is getting thicker, right? Ryan Garcia has jumped in to the 140 discussion. That's interesting because Ryan Garcia's stock is going up after getting beat down by Tank Davis. That's what's funny. But he gets a lot of credit for saying, I'm gonna step in there with that guy and I'm gonna fight him. And yeah, he took the loss, but he took it, kept it moving, got with Errol Spence's trainer, Derek James, and he looks like he's serious now. So, and we always knew that Ryan Garcia had talent. So now it's what's it going to look like when he really puts it together, and going with a trainer like Derek James, you expect him to put it together. He's in there training with a bunch of great fighters. So yeah, that he's going to be there. You got Tank, who still has a belt at 140, right? The regular belt.
I'm not sure if he does anymore.
Or did he drop it?
Yeah, I don't think he has that belt anymore.
I mean, that's not one of the major belts, so people don't usually count that one. But he does have a belt there, so he still fights at 140. Not sure if what his plans are in the future to continue fighting at 140. I feel like he's going to move up, but and then we got, like you said, Devin Haney, who doesn't look like he can make weight at 135 anymore, who's definitely going to move up.
No, he's got the regular title at 135.
135. My bad. I'm sorry. So, but Devin Haney definitely moving up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some competition. 140 is going to be where it's at moving forward. And yeah, if you're Devin Haney, that's somebody I'm looking at, because I think he beats Teofimo. Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a much closer fight with the way Teofimo looked tonight. He's got his confidence back, and he was, he looked really sharp. He looked sharp. He looked strong. I think it's a much closer fight. But yeah, I do think that Devin can outbox him. So I, honestly, with the way Josh Taylor looked, Devin shouldn't have too much problem moving up and grabbing 2 or 3 of those belts. I don't think that Raleigh has much for Devin Haney. So if he decides to move up, he can. It looks like he can maybe conquer another division there. But we'll see. There are some tough fighters in that division, obviously, but not sure that anybody's quite on his skill level.
That's the thing. So it's gonna be interesting, because what's up, Jed, man? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, bro. I think you have, all right, Teofimo has a belt. Mm-hmm. Who's the other one?
Matthias,
Progress,
and Raleigh.
Who Progress get a belt from?
I don't remember, honestly.
Okay,
there's too many to keep track of.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out before the stream started where all the belts were, because at one point Josh Taylor was the undisputed champ, right? He had all the belts. He hasn't. I mean, this is his first loss tonight. He dropped a couple of belts, so we're trying to figure out where those belts went. So they're kind of spread out. But Matthias is a solid fighter too. But Progress, tough fighter.
You got it by beating Jose Zepeda.
Cepeda. Okay.
in November last year.
Gotcha. So Matias, Prograis. I mean, Rolly's is a champion. If he fights Ryan Garcia, that those belts are coming off of him. So, but Ryan Garcia, we consider him one of the top fighters at 140 right now.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, he still has. I mean, he just moved up there, so he's got to really prove himself. But we're kind of giving him some credit. So Ryan Garcia will be a tough fight. Progress will be a tough fight, and Teofimo will be a tough fight, right, for Devin Haney. So I think those 4 fighters right now. And if Tank wants to, move up, I think he would. It will get really. I mean, it'll be just as heavy at the top as it is at 135. So
yeah, I think Josh Taylor gonna be moving up out of there.
he talked about that, didn't he? Say he was moving weight.
I didn't listen to his interview. But I'm just saying that he was the 140 king for a while, and it wasn't an overly talented division, but the talent's moving in now, and it's time for Josh to be moving up out. So.
Yeah. He said he wanted a rematch. Everybody says that. He's like, I got in there with him. I figured some things out. You didn't look like you figured out anything.
You didn't figure anything out. It got worse the longer it went on. I do want to say those cards were awful. Yes. I mean, I had Teofimo winning 10-2, but and there was one that was 117, 111. Yeah, that's fine. There were 2 cards that had it 115, 113.
When I heard those scorecards, I honestly thought that they were scoring it for Josh Taylor. I was like, it shouldn't be this close. But they're scoring it this close. I feel like they're cheating for Josh Taylor. They're just going to give it to Josh Taylor. I don't know what they were looking at. I had about the same be like 9-3, 10-2, something like that. Like the first rounds. In fact, rounds 1 and rounds 3, I think I gave to Josh Taylor. After that, I was just like, oh no. In fact, I gotta go back and look at those other rounds because man, you're getting work now. Jared says Devin beats Teo easily. In my opinion, Loma was probably the toughest challenge for him, and uninjured Loma. Yeah. I don't know about easily.
I don't know. I wouldn't say easily. Not somebody with the kind of power that Teo has.
Yeah, but you know what though? To be fair, we don't know what Teofimo shows up to the fight because after the Sandor Martin fight, we would have said, oh yeah, he would have dusted off Teofimo, right? I think Teofimo looks good against fighters like that because Josh Taylor wants to come forward, and he's coming forward and not doing anything. That's what's weird. He wants to come forward, but be hesitant. And I'm looking at my screen. Amanda Nunes just dominated her opponent. Salute to Amanda Nunes. I gotta look away from that. But a defensive fighter, a counter puncher like Devin Haney, he struggles with those fighters, right? Because even Kambosos ain't really a counter puncher, but that's how he beat him, right? Like early on, Teofimo was just trying to walk him down, and he walked into his punches. Then Kambosos got a little bit more aggressive later on in the fight, and that's how he got caught. But he was already up high on the cards. Somebody like Haney, he gonna be patient. He gonna counter you. And Teofimo, that's not his game. And really, that's why I think Tank would knock him out too, because Tank can give it to you however you want it. If we're being real about it, right? He's patient. He's become more and more patient. He ain't trying to walk you down, right? He could be a counter puncher. He could be a defensive fighter and knock you out from his back foot. Those are 2 dangerous opponents for Teofimo. But Teofimo ain't no scrub, obviously.
No. And that's why I think like Devin wouldn't beat him easily. He has very, very fast hands. He has a lot of power. And he's got quick feet too, right? Like he can move in and out. He can land his shots. I think that Haney would win a decision, but it wouldn't be easy.
Yeah. Sugar says UFC put it on bad pay-per-view, waste of money. Hey, look, we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday show on the LBHT show. This is what happens when you put out pay-per-views every other month.
Well, that shouldn't have been on pay-per-view after Pena dropped out of the fight.
I agree. This would have been a much better fight. Yeah, this would have been a much better fight. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Jared says Taylor felt that power and played it safe. He did. That's exactly what happened.
I wouldn't even say he played it safe because, like you said, he kept on coming in and just standing there. He's like, hit me again, please.
But you know, it was. I think it was muscle memory, acting in, and his logic fighting against each other.
He said
right?
he went in and stopped and was like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
That's what it seemed like. It seemed like, you know, he's like, okay, like, you know, I'm gonna go in there, you know, this is what I've been working on. And then he's just like, but if I throw this, he gonna counter and hit me. But then, like, he just didn't do anything, right? I understand the feints, right? You're feinting to try to get him to do something, but after a couple of rounds, really, it shouldn't even take you that long. After a couple of rounds, though, you feint. You see how he's moving. He's always moving. You know, he's ducking to one side or whatever. You're seeing where he's moving when you're going to throw your left, right? React accordingly. I got to hit him with the uppercut. I got to adjust to the side. I got to hit him the straight something. I know to hit him to the body because I know he's going to try to slip under it. Do something. But all he's doing is standing there. And everybody sees that. You know, Teofimo sees that, and he's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, he looks like a fighter who kind of just doesn't have it. Like can't pull the trigger. I mean, there's no way. And they mentioned it on the broadcast. There's no way you let this dude jump off of the mat, both feet in the air, and punch you in the face. Like he jumped in. It was a Superman punch.
Yeah.
There's no way you didn't see that coming. But you know, he saw it coming. He couldn't move. He couldn't get out of the way. He couldn't block it. He couldn't do anything. And you know, that's what looks like a fighter getting old. And it's crazy to say that because he's only had 19 fights, and you know, he's only like 32. But it's what it looked like.
Yeah. Is Amanda is she retiring? It looks like she's putting her gloves in the middle of the octagon.
I closed it, but that's kind of what people were speculating, that she would this would be her last fight. You know, she's pregnant again. I think she's probably gonna walk away at this point. There's nothing else for her to prove in the UFC.
Hey, well, salute to Amanda Nunes.
Yes.
I know this is a boxing podcast, but we are MMA fans, and Amanda Nunes is one of my favorite fighters of all time. For her to walk away from the sport on top, salute. Yep, she's putting them in the ring between her belts, and that's it. That is it for the greatest women's fighter, one of the greatest fighters, MMA fighters of all time. So salute to you, Amanda Nunes. We definitely gonna talk about this on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Jared is saying, he said, what I'm saying is Taylor didn't box the same way and wasn't as aggressive like he was against Ramirez because Lopez is a counterpuncher. Yeah. But Josh didn't look great against Catterall either.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and yes, Lopez, but Teofimo isn't a counterpuncher. Teofimo can counterpunch. Don't get me wrong, Jared. Teofimo can counterpunch. He doesn't always do it, right? I mean, we saw it, right? Like he, if he thinks, here's Teofimo's problem. He loses focus, and I blame his father for that. When he thinks you're a lesser fighter, he tries to walk you down and get you up out of there. If he knows it's a big fight, then he's more cautious, especially if he thinks you got power, right? If he thinks you got, you gotta be careful. Then he's a little bit more focused. You see more of this. He needs to fight top fighters all the time. If he thinks you're a lesser fighter, then he don't have no defense. He, like he walking into punches. Like that's his thing. So, but yeah, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong. But Taylor, man, like I said, like the hesitation, if you're going to be hesitant like that, don't go on the inside. Stay on the outside. You got the reach advantage. And like B said, the Superman punch, that's not supposed to work in boxing. Yeah, he's dancing around you like he's showboating. Like he knew that wasn't a I felt his power, right? I don't even think that's the hardest he's been hit before. Talking about Taylor, it was just one of those things where this guy's too fast,
Mhm.
and there's nothing I could do. I can't hit him. You know, so 10 people in here, man. Look, this is gonna be a quick stream, man. We missing our guy OTR Mike. He's out of town right now. Salute to you, brother. Um, he said he might pop in, but I think he's probably sleeping right now. It's all right though. It's all right. It's all right. We got you covered. But yeah. So, we didn't talk about our guy Xander Zayas, who was on the undercard.
With another dominant victory.
Yes, yes. I like Xander. I like what they're doing with Xander Zayas. They're not trying to. They try to. They're talking a little bit about it. I can feel like they want to push him along, but they haven't really rushed him to this point. To just letting him develop. He's super young.
Yeah.
I heard whoever on the broadcast comparing them to Trinidad and Cotto and Camacho and at this age they were doing this. Man, I don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
He ain't got to be none of those guys. Okay, he's a sound boxer. He's working on the little things, and just let him develop how he develops. He ain't got to rush to become nobody. I think he's going to be a star.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he's gonna be a superstar, and like you said, they just need to let him move along at his own pace, and just take your time. There's no rush. There's absolutely no rush. Don't do what y'all did with Edgar Berlanga, which is you stepped up the level of competition before he was really ready, and then he looked bad in several fights.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of and that's not to say that he's not going to reach his potential. He's not going to be a star, not going to be a champion or whatever. But now the shine is off of a bit, right?
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to be talking about him trying to go after Canelo or one of those bigger names, he's absolutely not ready for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. A lot of people are soured on Berlanga. We have not. We think he just needs more time to develop. And like I said, I mean, I understand. You can look at it and say, hey, he's old enough. He should be here. Look, you develop when you develop, man. He's just not ready.
Well, yeah, and he just hasn't had the rounds.
Yeah.
You win his first 16 fights, he had fewer than 16 rounds, and he just needs more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen, again, don't want to hear it, right? Because you just saw a guy who was former undisputed champion at 140 fight his 19th fight. He's 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
take your time and get him the fights when he's ready for the fights.
Yep. So, yeah, Zayas, what's next for him? I don't know. He's not quite there because he's a welterweight.
Well, no, he's at 154.
154.
But he's still a ways off. He's still, even tonight it was just an 8-rounder. Like he's not even fighting 12-round fights yet. I think that like I said, they're taking their time, but he's already a bit of a star, right? I mean, he's a mega star in New York. They love him in New York.
Yes, they do.
And they're featuring him on all of these undercards, all the top rank fights, which is a great thing to do, because by the time he's ready to step up in competition, he's already going to be a household name.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a while longer, and like I said, there's no real rush, because like who is he going to move? Who are you going to throw him in there with, right? I mean, Jaime Munguia had a fight tonight where apparently he didn't look. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I was following along on Twitter. Apparently he didn't look too great, and DAZN, the thieving ass company, was calling the decision victory that he got a robbery.
Ooh.
They said he was getting worked a little bit, but he fought back. He knocked Sergey down late in the fight, and that may have salvaged a win for him. But apparently, a lot of people are thinking he lost that fight tonight.
Well, I'm gonna definitely have to go back and take a look at that. Jaime Munguia might be the most protected fighter in boxing.
Yes, him and Boots.
You think Boots is the most protected?
Who's he fought?
But he's at least he's out there trying to make fights happen. I don't blame that on
He's
him.
he's out there talking.
They all talk,
Let's.
but
I'm just saying that, and that's fine. But until you actually have a fight, you're with a more talented fighter, you're being
nah,
protected.
that's harsh. That's harsh. Like I don't think
Is
he's
it?
ducking. I don't think he's ducking anybody.
I don't
Right?
think he's scared of anybody. That's not what I'm saying. But he has, what is it, 29 fights, and he hasn't
Uh,
fought anybody.
Right. Okay. But Jaime Munguia, a lot of people call out Jaime Munguia, and every time they ask Jaime Munguia about somebody, oh well, I don't know. I gotta think about it. Like he don't want to fight anybody. It seems like, right? Boots.
Well, let me ask you this: if you were, what is it? I'm looking at here, 42-0, and a champion, and you didn't have to beat anybody, would you be in a rush? Like, I mean, there's, look,
I
not
I
everybody
wouldn't
is not everybody is Alexander Usyk, and they're in it for the glory.
listen,
Right?
listen, listen. I I've done a little boxing back in the day. I don't like getting punched in the face. I get it, right? I would also I would be the laziest champion ever. But
Jared,
if somebody
stop it.
said, look, if somebody look, if I'm Mungia and I had that mentality, and somebody is just like, "Hey, you're ducking," yeah, I'm ducking. I don't care. But you are ducking people. And what's Jared say? Jared say Canelo is if he doesn't fight Benavidez, um,
Nonsense.
is what ducking. He got to fight somebody, yo.
He's been fighting somebody. Like, again, it's not he's not taking. I mean, outside of this very last fight,
Yeah,
he's not fighting scrubs. He's just not fighting the people that certain fans want him to fight. Those are completely different things. There was a
but
lot
that
of
warrants.
people. No,
I'm
but there
sorry,
was a
man.
lot of people that said Floyd was ducking when he didn't fight Williams, right? And it's not the same thing. You're just because you're fighting different people than a vocal fan base is wanting you to fight doesn't mean you're ducking.
I think that's different, man. Williams had a little bit of buzz, but he never had that kind of buzz. And Floyd, they they people will say Floyd is ducky. Yeah, they say that, but Floyd fought a bunch of champions, a bunch of great fighters,
So
and then
was
when he
Canelo.
no, this last fight wasn't a great fight.
No, but he's
That
fighting a bunch of champions.
Yeah, but it wasn't a but he wasn't fighting a great fighter this last fight, and fighting Triple G for a third time when Triple G is washed. That wasn't a great fight either.
Triple G is also a champion.
I understand that, but he's washed, right? It's
He's
not a
not,
great
but
fight.
he's not washed. He's not
No,
the
no,
fighter that
he's
he used
washed.
to. He's not the fighter that he used to be. He's not washed. Those are two different things. He still holds. Well, he did held a couple. Well, no, he still does a couple belts at 160. Like, he's not. You're not a washed fighter. When you hold two belts. Okay, yeah, Rocky Fielding, that's cool. Did you mention Billy Joe? Did you mention Caleb Plant? Did you mention any of the other fighters that he's fought? Like, you can't act like Caleb Canelo hasn't fought anybody.
We're not saying for his whole career. We're talking about recent, right? Recently, like
Recently,
if
he had one bad fight. The fight before that was Dimitri B. Or was Golovkin, who's a unified champion of 160, and Bivol before that.
so
Those are not easy fights.
we can disagree on Bevo. I think he's washed. And like that's just not. Look, I'm not saying Canelo is done. I'm not even saying he's ducking anybody. I'm saying the fight that he's taking is going to warrant some criticism. That's all I'm saying. And okay, Triple G, nobody was really a fan of that. This last fight, John Ryder, nobody was really
Mhm.
a fan of that fight. Okay, we want to see you fight somebody this time. Okay, it doesn't have to be Benavidez, but it's got to be Bivol or somebody that we're interested in seeing you fight. You can't take another Rocky Field, and you can't take another John Ryder type of fight. People are going to start looking at you like, man,
But you're not
nah.
saying that when he has said loudly and repeatedly that he wants Bivol in his next fight.
Yeah, but what's going on now is it doesn't look like that fight is going to happen, right? Because they're not agreeing on the terms. I guess you know, for now. I mean, they're talking, right?
Yeah.
But like they'll say whatever, but fans are going to react to that talking. And right now, they're saying that the fight's not going to happen. So If that's what you're telling the fans are going to react off of you saying the fight's not going to happen. All right, that's not going to happen. Benavidez reportedly sent Canelo an offer. He didn't respond to the offer. So, all right, who are you going to fight then? Right? That's fair to ask. Who are you going to fight? It can't be another tune-up fight.
It's fair to ask who you're going to fight. If you can't make a Bivol fight, it is absolutely not fair to say that he's ducking people or that he's protected. That's nonsense. He's fought a lot of champions. He's fought a lot of tough fights. It's absolutely not fair to say he's ducking anybody.
If he goes and takes another tune-up fight, what are we calling that?
A bad fight, which is the majority of every fighter's record. Up until this past fight against Caleb Plant, what were you saying about Benavidez's record? About his resume?
No,
because there's guys out there that he could fight that he hasn't fought, right?
Yeah, but guess what?
But we don't talk about that like that.
But guess what he did? He took the fight.
He took the fight against the guy that Canelo already beat.
Yeah, and
so
now
what are we talking about?
And now he's one of the top fighters.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying.
So you know what's going to happen? He's going to fight somebody else. I promise you, he's going to fight another top fighter.
Maybe.
He's not going to
this point.
He's not going to fight a Rocky Fielding. I can guarantee you that.
We'll see. I'm saying he hasn't up until this point, right?
He hasn't what?
He hasn't fought another top fighter up until this point, right?
No.
He took the fight against Caleb Plant.
No, he's an up-and-coming fighter.
Is he up and coming, or is he here?
Well, he's here now. Yeah, he's at the top.
That's my whole thing with him and Charlo, which is they're just waiting around saying Canelo, come fight me.
Look,
now, credit to Benavidez for going and taking the Caleb Plant fight, but that's one fight.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, it's not fair to say he's the top guy, blah, 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 and Canelo's ducking, Canelo's protected, when Canelo has more top fights on his resume than Benavidez does.
Yeah, but you can't keep leaning on stuff that happened years ago. If you keep taking bad fight after bad fight after bad fight, at some point, people are going to sour on you.
The Bivol fight was literally a year, 13 months ago. You're saying it like it was 4 or 5 years ago.
I'm not saying he's ducking anybody today. I'm saying if he doesn't take on a good opponent in his next fight, people are going to start to question it. That's what I'm saying.
No,
and at that point, it would have been about 2 years since the Bivol fight. I'm not saying it don't have to be Bivol, it don't have to be Benavidez, but it's got to be somebody that we look at and say, yeah, that's a quality fighter. Nobody's looking at John Ryder. I don't care. You could say, oh well, Benavidez doesn't have the resume. You could say Charlo doesn't have the resume. Nobody is comparing John Ryder to any of those fighters. Right? No. Resume, it doesn't matter what the resume is. John Ryder ain't on that level. So that's what everybody's talking about. Right? So we don't have to, I get the resume thing, but quality fighters, we know John Ryder ain't it. We know Rocky Fielding ain't it. That's all I'm saying.
David Lemieux or Kyron Davis, and that's my point, is that they're taking those fights, right? Yeah. The guys that are saying, Charlo's not taking any fights, but Benavidez is taking fights against scrubs, and nobody's saying, well, you need to go fight somebody.
Sure. Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? There are guys out there for him to fight, but he's not taking those fights, right?
And listen, like I said, we'll see what happens if he doesn't get this Canelo fight. We'll see what he does next. He's at a point now where he's going to get that criticism. The same way your criticism boots, right? He's going to start to get that criticism too. He can't take those fights anymore. He's here. He has to show, all right, I'm one of the top guys. I got to go, fight these other guys, right? You're not giving Boots any pass just because he doesn't get Spence or Crawford. You're saying there's other fighters out there he can fight. He needs to go and fight
and with Boots, that's just because he hasn't fought anybody. Like, he doesn't even have a Caleb Plant on his resume.
Right. Like, but it's fair criticism. We think Boots is one of those top guys. We think he has the talent to be one of those top fighters, but he has to go out there and make some other fights happen. You don't get to fight Spencer Crawford right now. Okay. That's just what it is. Fight Stanionis, right? Fight Keith Thurman. Fight Ugas. There's fighters out there that you can fight. And for all your the Boots fans out there, you thinking, oh, he does those guys off? Cool. I agree with you. Let him go out there and show it. Okay, because this is boxing isn't a what if game. You have to go out there and prove it.
Dude, what do you mean he knows better than to fight Benavidez? What are we talking about? This is a dude who's been at the top of the sport for years. You think he's afraid of Benavidez?
Canelo has already inserted himself as one of the best in multiple weight classes. Benavidez is on the come up. Wait, which one are you looking at?
The comment right before that.
Oh, I'm sorry. He picked Bivol because he thinks he can win, but why not fight Beterbiev? Because he knows better. But
yeah, well, but he wants to fight Bivol because he lost to Bivol.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can understand that. Anybody can understand that. You want your get back. You want, like that's the person you lost to. You want to avenge that. And I think he said after that fight, if he wins, he would consider
he said that his whole thing was moving up and becoming the undisputed champion of 175, which would mean fighting Beterbiev.
Yeah, but yeah, I would want a rematch too. But if Bivol says, hey, I want to come down and put your belts on the line, I'll give him that smoke too. I don't care. In fact, we can make it a trilogy. We can make it a 2-fight deal. Okay, come down, fight for my belts. When you don't win, you give me another shot at was it light heavyweight at light heavyweight, and let me get those belts off of you because I'm trying to be undisputed up there, right? But listen, it's early, and I get, like I said, I'm not mad at Jared's reaction to the whole thing, right? This is what boxing does. You had this back and forth. It plays out in the media. This is how they negotiate things, right? Because we just saw it with Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, right? The fight was off. We just kind of lost interest. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, seemingly the fight's on. So just because they say the fight ain't gonna happen, don't believe that, right?
Yeah.
Just wait. That fight's going to happen. So yeah. Bazel said, whoever wins got to fight me. All right, Bazel putting his belt on the line. He said he's putting his bike on the line. Oh.
Like, I mean, we want to talk about somebody who needs to go and fight. We're talking about Jamal Charlo.
So,
because my man just sitting doing nothing. Talking about I'm gonna fight Ocho Cinco.
Apparently, there was some issues. There's some issue with him. I guess they're keeping quiet about it, but there's something going on there. I don't know. I mean, he's been inactive for a while, so obviously there's something wrong.
Well, he had a fight scheduled, and I forget the exact reason that it got postponed or canceled. But I mean, he was scheduled to fight recently.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but he's had a long layoff, man. He's had a long layoff. So there's something going on there. They're being quiet about it. Hope everything's okay. I still think the world of Jamal Charlo. Obviously, you know how I feel about Jamal Charlo. He's one of the best out there.
Yeah.
But I think Jamal Charlo is really good too. I don't know what's going on, but I hope he gets it all worked out and he can go out there and show it. But you have to prove yourself in this sport. So. You can't just sit there.
Lomachenko.
Speaking of, I don't want to get too much into the stuff because we gotta do an episode with Mikey. But Bob Arum said that the fights that he's offering Devin Haney, because I guess Devin Haney is a free agent now. Devin Haney is not a part of Top Rank, so he's offering him a fight with a rematch with Lomachenko and or a fight with Shakur. And I think there was one other fight. I want to say maybe Josh Taylor, but Josh Taylor just took an L. So I don't know. But those basically the fights that he's offering him. But I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's not good enough. Right? If I'm Devin Haney, like you can't offer me anything. I have all the belts. You can't offer me anything. I will take whatever fights I want to take. But for Devin, the good news for Bob Arum is I don't think Devin is staying where he's at. I think he's definitely moving up to 140. So he's going to drop those belts. I don't think he's trying to defend 135 anymore.
Right.
And to take on, because those belts are split up. And if Teofimo keeps to his word, he's not fighting on Top Rank anymore either.
Yeah.
Right? He said this. Didn't he say this is his last fight?
This is his last fight on ESPN.
Oh boy. He said that they can keep the black fighters.
Yeah. If they want them. What's up, Ferris?
What's up, Ferris? What's going on? So that's gonna be interesting. But yes, if you're just joining, 13 people in here. Salute to you guys, man. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning. Hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right. Share this with your friends if you're enjoying the content. If you're listening on the audio, go ahead and hit that 5-star review for us one time. Or like or whatever platform you listen on. We're getting a lot more people on Overcast and things like that. So shoot us an email, shoot us a DM at Ring Kings Pod, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think about the podcast. All right.
Ferris is hooked on the points. Asking, do we get the loyalty points? Loyalty points are not set up on this channel.
Not yet. We're not there yet. We're still building this channel. We're still building. We'll put something together. We're not quite there yet. Boy, Ferris wants points. He wants points big time. You can still donate though. The Cash App still works. Yeah. She says, love when Brodny gets heated. I get my popcorn. It's not heated. We're not heated. See, you guys don't know. You're not used to our conversations offline. This is how it gets, and this is normal.
All I'll say about that is, okay, if you want to say Canelo better fight Benavidez or he's ducking, right? Let's say that fight doesn't happen. Benavidez better fight Demetrius or he's ducking too, right?
Oh yeah. Listen, listen. Benavidez can't go backwards at this point.
All right, Ferris.
All right. Ferris says he's out. No points. See you later.
All right. Now that Ferris is gone, you do indeed get loyalty points now.
Yeah. No, man. No, Benavidez can't go backwards. He has to keep it's one thing if you can't get the fights, right? You're trying to set up fights and people aren't giving you the fights. You gotta do what you gotta do to stay active, right? But it can't just be Canelo or nothing. I absolutely agree, and you already know that. I mean, I criticized Jamel Charlo for a minute. Like, listen, man, like you asking Bivol for a fight, you asking Canelo for a fight. I mean, Triple G's right there. You could have been fought Triple G, right? So no, I don't give you a pass for that. Definitely not. There's more than one fighter out there.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rock? Thanks for coming through, man.
What's up, Rock?
So, all right, just recap. Josh Taylor got his ass whooped.
Oh, man.
That's all I can say, man. I mean,
like I said, it's like I got Dre. Shout out to Dre. He beat up Teofimo's fist with his face and made him apologize after that fight.
Did he? Yeah, he was very apologetic, man. Look, good game plan. I can't take anything away from Teofimo, and I don't give any credit to his dad. I don't think his dad had anything to do with it. His dad is the worst trainer in the world. He is awful. Okay.
Didn't he after the first they keep going to commercials so you can't really hear, but it sounded like they said that his dad told him after the first round, just figure him out.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's like, figure him out. This guy is terrible. I mean, and Teofimo don't have any respect for him. Like, we saw that interview before the fight, right, where his dad, I mean, rightfully so, was trying to tell him, like, don't talk about what you said about the black fighters, right? And he's just telling them, shut up, man up, this isn't that. Like,
I wouldn't say everybody, please. So if you're gonna come out and say something like that, you got to be prepared to answer questions about it.
Yeah, but Teofimo Sr. knew he wasn't prepared, and he knew he was going to say something stupid. That's why.
But you have to be prepared. That's what I'm saying. So like, it's a fair question, and he should be answering those questions. But yeah, if you're,
but
he needs to be prepared to say.
His dad knows his son, and he's saying, look, just focus on the fight. Like, don't worry about that stuff. Don't talk about that. You know, he. I mean, I don't say often, but Teofimo Senior was right. You know, Hero said everything about Teo's dad.
They gotta stop going to commercial in between rounds, man. Like, listen, if you're
I
gonna
don't like that.
have a half hour or whatever, 45 minutes between fights, play your commercials then. Like, we want to see the interaction in the corners.
They're starting to do that on pay-per-views now too. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I already paid you, right? We're your paid sponsor. Stop playing the commercials, man. Like, I want to hear what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta figure that out.
They figured it out. They said we got we got his 30 seconds. We're gonna play the commercial real quick.
You gotta make it like 5-second commercial or something, you know, if you're gonna do that. But you know, they figured out there's more ways to make money, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
So all right. That is it. That's all we have. We've been going for 45 minutes. It is 1:30. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Yes.
What is coming up? The next fight is Spence and Crawford.
No. We got Berlanga is fighting. I mean, that's not a major fight, but he is fighting. The next really big fight is Monster versus Cool Boy Steph.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Me and Mikey got Cool Boy Steph. You got the Monster Inoue.
I make fun of, like, he's a great fighter. I think I'm picking Inoue, but that I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say bad pick. I mean,
July 25th.
Don't call him the Monster for nothing.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's gonna be an excellent fight.
Alicia Baumgardner is fighting on July 15th. Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz on July 8th. Franchon Cruz Dezern versus Savannah Marshall on July 1st. And then you had Jared Anderson is fighting July 1st as well, along with Tiger Johnson.
Right, said, don't forget Floyd and Gotti in the third. They're fighting tomorrow.
Let's see.
Wait, Jared said Teofimo say he's retiring. I missed that.
I didn't hear him say that. Tim Zhu versus Carlos Ocampo.
Okay.
June 18th. Prograis versus Zoria on June 17th.
Okay. Some quality boxing coming up. So,
and of course, Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz August 5th.
Oh man, Brent coming through at the end. Salute to you, Brent. Shout out to you. We about to close this out though, but you can always catch the replay. Ferris says, Monster all day. I'm sorry for my Muslim brother, Stefan. Okay. So it is time. It's about that time for us to put out our a new pound for pound list. All right. If you haven't seen our other ones, go back and check them out. We're doing them quarterly. We decided, right? So this one's going to come out before our number one and former number two. But Crawford, what did he drop to? 3, I think, in our power rankings.
Yeah, I believe in a way was second. Teofimo said he's considering retiring.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right. Well, listen. Go out. If you're gonna go out, go on top, right? So, yes, this is the pound for pound matchup right here. But our pound for pound list will come out before this fight happens, and obviously, the next one will be updated when like October-ish.
October.
So you'll October-ish, you'll see the results of that, and there's gonna be some other fights that come up before then that will help. Look, the Monsters Cool Boy Steph fight is going to change the landscape. Crawford Spence going to change the landscape. Who else is out there? Tank. Whoever he fights next. Maybe Tank and Haney fight next. That could change the landscape. There's a lot of fights that are going to happen that are going to really shake up this pound for pound list. All right.
Fury and Usyk get it together.
Yeah, that's another one. Appreciate you, Brent. Says I'm late, but I'll be leaving a like and watching this on replay. Salute to you.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, that is it. Anything before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
B is ready. Shout out to y'all, man. Go get some sleep. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you on Wednesday on our lunch break hot take channel. Okay. 7:15 p.m. Eastern time for the LBHT show. Okay. We might have some more boxing updates there because we do a little combat sports section. Okay. We might be talking some boxing. We'll definitely be talking some MMA. My girl, Amanda Nunes, retired. Congratulations on a great career, Amanda Nunes. Salute to you. You're one of the all-time greats. All right. Rico coming in at the very end. At the very end. Salute to you. Salute to you. All right, y'all. We're out. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. Peace.